To be honest, I wasn't even sure if I should make this video, because the 48 Laws of Power isn't just another self-help book. It's basically a playbook that people in power have been using for centuries. Politicians, CEOs, celebrities, they've mastered these laws and use them every single day, whether you see it or not. Some of the laws are dark, like crush your enemy totally, or use selective honesty to disarm your victim. But we're not going there. Instead, I will share 10 laws that help you read people, navigate tricky situations, protect yourself from manipulation, and play smarter in life. Not just be aware, but actually start winning more, getting noticed, building unshakable confidence, and stay 10 steps ahead in a world where most people don't even know a game is being played. Let's start with a law that has destroyed more careers than laziness ever could. Never outshine the master. Sounds dramatic, like some medieval court thing, but in reality, this plays out everywhere. In offices, friend groups, family dinners, even in DMs. People in power, whether it's your boss, your mentor, or someone who just thinks they're above you, they like to feel important. They want to feel like the smartest one in the room. And the moment you show them up, even if it's unintentional, they'll start seeing you as a threat, not a teammate. It's wild, but it makes sense when you think about it. Nobody wants to feel like they're being replaced, even if they don't say it out loud. The thing is, a lot of us are raised to shine, show our value, go all in. But if you do that in front of someone who holds your future in their hands, and you make them look small in the process, that spotlight you're chasing can turn into a laser pointed at your back. Now, I'm not saying dull yourself down or play dumb. You just have to be smart about where and how you shine. Think of it like this. Let your boss be the sun. You be the moon. Still glowing, still visible, but reflecting their light. Make them look good, and they'll keep you around. Make them feel replaceable, they'll find a way to remind you who's in charge. It's not about kissing up, it's about survival. You can still win, just don't do it by making the person above you feel like they're losing. That's Law 1. First one in the book, and for a good reason. Law number 2. Never appear too perfect. You know that person who seems flawless? Their life looks perfect on Instagram, they never seem to make a mistake, and everyone thinks they have it all figured out. At first, you might admire them, but after a while something weird happens. You start feeling a little off around them, like they're untouchable, almost intimidating. That's exactly the problem. Being too perfect can actually backfire because humans don't relate to perfection. We get jealous, suspicious, or just plain uncomfortable. But showing a little imperfection actually makes you more relatable, more human, and way more trustworthy. When you let people see your flaws, your struggles, or even a funny mistake, it breaks down walls. It's like saying, hey, I'm not some robot, I'm just like you. Take Steve Jobs. Sure, he was a genius, but he was also famously difficult, temperamental, and flawed. People respected him because he was real, not because he was perfect. That rawness made him powerful. This doesn't mean you go around bragging about every little fault or messing up on purpose. It's more about balance. Show enough of your real self so people don't feel like you're some untouchable statue. So, if you want to build real relationships, influence people, or just live a happier life, don't aim for impossible perfection. Let your human side shine through. Laugh at your mistakes, share your struggles, and don't hide your quirks. Because at the end of the day, perfect is boring. Real is magnetic. Law number 3. Conceal your intentions. And honestly, this one feels like a secret weapon once you get it. If you tell everyone exactly what you want and what you're planning, people start acting differently around you. Some might try to block you, others might copy you, or worse, they'll use your plans against you. Imagine you're playing chess, but you shout out every move before you make it. The other player? They just step in and stop you every time. That's why this law says, keep your cards close. Be mysterious about your goals. Don't spill your whole strategy in one conversation. Look at how some top negotiators work. They never reveal their bottom line or their real interests up front. They ask questions, listen carefully, and let the other side guess where they stand. This way, they control the conversation and get better deals. Think of yourself as a magician. The magic only works because the audience doesn't know how the trick is done. If you explain the secret before the show, the magic disappears. So when you're planning something important, whether it's a career move, a new relationship, or even just a big life decision, keep it close. Let people see only what you want them to see. Keep them guessing. That way, you stay in control. The less people know, the less power they have to mess with your game. Law number 4. Know who you're dealing with. Okay, listen. Not everyone plays by the same rules. Some people are chill, some are sensitive, some are straight up landmines. And if you treat them all the same way, you're gonna get burned. That's what this law is all about. It's basically saying, don't assume everyone's gonna react like you would. Know who's in front of you before you make a move. I had a friend who once joked around with his manager, casual roast, stuff we all laugh about in the group chat, except his manager wasn't the type. He was the kind that smiles on the outside and then remembers everything forever. 2 weeks later, Danny's project started disappearing. He was getting weird shifts, all because he didn't read the room. You gotta treat people like they're different operating systems. What works on iOS might crash Android. Same thing with humans. Some people you can tease, joke with, push back on. Others, they'll see it as disrespect, and they'll come for you later, quietly. And honestly, it's not even about avoiding danger. It's about moving smarter. Once you know who you're dealing with, you know how to talk to them, how to influence them, how to keep things smooth. You can push the right buttons or avoid the wrong ones. Law number 5. Plan all the way to the end. Imagine you're playing chess, but you only think about your next move. No strategy beyond that. You might make a cool play, but you'll probably get caught off guard pretty quickly. Planning all the way to the end means seeing the whole board, imagining what's going to happen, and being ready for it. Do you remember the Apollo 11 moon landing? NASA didn't just say, let's land on the moon and see what happens. They planned every tiny detail, including what to do if the landing site was rough, how to handle communication failures, even what to eat on the trip. They had backup plans for backup plans. That's planning all the way to the end. And this applies to everyday stuff too. Say you're launching a business, or even trying to get that promotion at work. If you don't think through the obstacles you might face, the people who could block you, or how your plan affects others down the line, you're setting yourself up for surprises that could mess you up big time. Planning all the way to the end means you're not just dreaming about the goal, you're ready for everything that comes between here and there. It helps you stay calm when things get messy. When you know your next steps, and the steps after that, you walk into situations like a boss, not like someone fumbling in the dark. Alright, let's get into law number 6. Always say less than necessary. You ever finish talking and instantly regret it? Like, why did I say all that? You gave away the whole playbook when a sentence would have done the trick. That's exactly what this law is about. Say less. Let people wonder. Let them guess. Most people think talking more makes them seem smart or confident, but actually, the opposite is true. The more you talk, the more chances you have to slip up, expose too much, or weaken your position. Silence, that's power. It makes people lean in, it makes you unpredictable, it makes you look in control. There's a reason powerful people talk less. CEOs, celebrities, even villains in movies, they speak in short, loaded sentences. Think about it. When someone rambles, it sounds like they're trying to convince you. But when someone says less, it feels like they already know something you don't. Even in real life, interviews, arguments, negotiations, the person who talks less usually wins. Why? Because silence makes people uncomfortable. They start trying to fill the gap. They reveal things. They lower their guard, and meanwhile you're just sitting there reading them like a book. So how do you use this in your life? Easy. Next time you're in a meeting or a conversation, think before you speak. Ask yourself, do I need to say this, or do I just want to sound smart? Cut the fluff. Let silence do some of the talking. Let people wonder what you're thinking. That's where the power lives. Alright, let's talk about one of the most satisfying and powerful laws in this whole book. Law 7. Win through actions, never through argument. Picture this. You're in a heated debate with someone. Maybe it's about politics, or which movie is the GOAT, or something work-related, and you're throwing facts, stats, logic, passion. You're sure you're right. But at the end of it, nothing. They don't change their mind. In fact, now they just seem annoyed. Because arguments almost never actually work. People don't like being proven wrong. It bruises the ego. So even if you make a rock-solid point, most people just dig their heels in. They don't go, you're right, I was completely wrong. They go, whatever, and walk away more stubborn than before. Arguing is like trying to win a sword fight with spaghetti. It's messy, it goes nowhere, and both people just end up looking silly. Even in relationships, it's better to show change than to promise it. If you hurt someone, don't say, I've changed. Just be different. Do better. Let your actions speak for you. People trust what they see, not what they're told. Law number 8. Think as you like, but behave like others. So what does it really mean? Basically, you can have all the wild, crazy, genius thoughts in your head, but when you're out there in the world, you gotta blend in. Act like everyone else. Don't make waves just because you feel like it. Think about it. If you walk into a room and you're too different, people get suspicious, uncomfortable, or even defensive. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about being smart about when and how you show your true self. It's like being a chameleon. You keep your colors, but you adjust to the environment so you don't stand out in a bad way. Blend in enough to earn trust, but don't lose what makes you, you. Even in friendships, if you constantly challenge everyone's opinions or act too different, you risk isolation. But if you behave in a way that's relatable, you keep the doors open for deeper conversations where your true ideas can shine later. So yeah, think wild, dream big, be yourself. But when it comes to showing up, play the game smart. Make people comfortable around you, and then you get the real power. The power to influence without resistance. Law number 9. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. When someone legendary leaves a spot, people expect the next person to be just like them. Take the example of Apple after Steve Jobs. When Tim Cook took over, some people expected him to be the same firecracker, innovator, and visionary, but he wasn't. And honestly, he didn't try to be. Instead, Cook played to his own strengths, focusing on efficiency, supply chain mastery, and steady growth. This law is basically saying, don't try to be a copycat. Don't put yourself in a position where you're always fighting someone else's shadow. That's exhausting and unfair to you and everyone around you. So when you step into a role someone else made famous, respect their legacy, but don't become a clone. Find your own way, innovate, bring your unique flavor to the table. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up to be compared, criticized, and ultimately overshadowed. Finally, law number 10, assume formlessness. Okay, so what does formlessness even mean? It means don't be rigid. Don't get stuck in one identity, one routine, one way of doing things. Stay flexible. Adapt like water. Because once people can predict you, they can control you. Once you get comfortable, that's when you stop evolving in a world that never stops moving. This law is literally about survival. You've seen companies that didn't adapt. Blockbuster, Kodak, BlackBerry. They had the game on lock until they didn't. They stuck to what worked while the world moved past them. And the companies that stayed flexible, Netflix, Apple, they thrived because they moved with the world. Same thing goes for people. Bruce Lee said it best. Be water, my friend. Water doesn't fight, it flows. It moves around obstacles. It becomes whatever shape you pour it into. That's power. In real life, that might look like switching strategies when one isn't working, letting go of an identity you've outgrown, learning a new skill that's outside your comfort zone, even changing how you speak or dress, depending on the room you're in, not to be fake, but to fit the environment. Formlessness keeps you unpredictable, and when people can't figure you out, they can't control you. They can't target what they can't define. Alright, so we've covered some seriously powerful stuff today, right? If you found this helpful, I'd love to hear which law hit you the hardest. Drop a comment below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you learned something new today.